Hi guys, in this video we're going to make a Halloween cake topper of a little cauldron, and I'm going to make mine in Rice Krispie treats. So I've got a sphere shaped tin and it comes in two halves, and what I'm going to do is I'm just sort of greasing it with Trex, which is just vegetable shortening. And once I've done that, I'm going to fill it with my marshmallow and Rice Krispie treats mix. So I'll put a little recipe in the description box below the video for how to make it. It's very sticky. Make sure you've let it cool down a little bit. So I filled my two sides, and before it's had a chance to set, I want to push that together really firmly. I've probably put just a little bit too much in mine. And once it's set, and I've put mine in the fridge for a little bit, you can see I didn't quite let my marshmallows melt properly. I'm going to pull the tin off. It took a little bit of prizing off, and I'm just going to cut a flat bit on the top and the bottom. So the one on the bottom, so it stands up, it's only small, the one on the bottom, and the one on the top's just so we get more of a cauldron shape. And I'm going to use some ready dyed black fondant. We're going to roll it out and place it over the top of our cauldron. So I've turned my cauldron upside down, and we're just going to press this on here. I'm going to see some little bumps through to my Rice Krispie treats. You can spend a little while filling in the holes if you want before putting your fondant on, but because it's going to have quite a lot of decoration on, I'm not going to worry too much. I'm just going to turn it over and trim off the top bit. I've got a nice bright green that we've dyed on some fondant. We're just going to cut a disc and put that onto the top. So taking a bit more black fondant, we're going to roll it out so we get a nice long thick tube of it, and I'm going to place that around the top of my cauldron, just going around that green circle that we've put on. Now you can see the seam in the back, but we'll cover that up later. And I've got some of the leftover green, and we're just going to put some little drips coming down, and we're going to use these to cover up anywhere that we've got creases and cracks. I've got a little bit of white bit of fondant in my black, so we'll cover that up shortly. I've got some more pre-dyed fondant, this time in purple, and we're just going to make some little tentacles coming out of our cauldron. And you can put them wherever you like. I just need to leave a bit of space in the middle where our little character's going to go. And I've got a bit more black. Now you can use modelling paste, or if you prefer you can just add a bit of Tylose powder to your leftover fondant. And we're going to create a bit of a body shape. Most of it's going to be covered up, so you don't have to worry too much about the shape. We want a little sausage shape either side for the arms or wings. So it's going to be a bat. We're not going to put big wings on it because his arms are trapped down by his side, which would have the wings on. Squeeze it in the middle, and then we want another purple tentacle, and we're just going to wrap that around the body. Play around with it till you're happy with the positioning, and then we're just going to draw some little bits of fur on our bat's body. And you can do this before adding the tentacle if you like. And we're just going to push that into the middle of the cauldron. So it should look a little bit like that. And let's put some little suckers on our tentacles now. So just some balls of purple. You can use a different colour if you like. And I'm just using the bottom end of my paintbrush, so the handle end, to just push in the middle of each circle, so it looks more like a sucker shape. So do that on all your tentacles. Then we're just going to add some of our coloured balls. I'm just adding some water where I want them to stick. Or you can use edible glue. We're just going to drop some of these in there. So these are nice Halloween-y colours. And I've also got some pre-made little eyes. So you can just get these ready-made if you don't want to make your own. So I've just gone for the easy option and bought them. And just stick these wherever you fancy on that cauldron. There we go. And just stick a few more of the pearls dotted about. Now for the head, we want to start with an oval, and we're pressing in slightly where the eyes are. And I'm just going to use a little modelling tool to create a little dint under the nose to create a mouth. Just press a little bit deeper where I want those eyes to go. And I'm just going to cover him in some tiny little lines for fur. Just do that all the way over the head. And I'm just putting a teardrop of white in each eye, so it's slightly smaller at the top, wider at the bottom. Give them a good push in. Going a little bit deeper on that mouth. Make sure he's got a sad face because the tentacles have got him tangled up. I want two tiny little triangles of white for some fangs. Just got a straw to hand, so I'm going to use that to mark a circle. A little bit of like a dark pink. So this is red and black mixed together for the nose. And I've got a deep purple that we're just going to paint into those eyes. Now, you can see the fondant dried a little bit in one of the eyes, so it's cracked a little bit. So you might find anywhere you've got cracks that the food colouring can bleed into. And of course you don't have to paint them, you can just stick on a circle of fondant in that colour if you prefer. And we're going to put a circle of black in each eye, and then a circle of white sort of at the top of each of those black bits, like that. Put a tiny, tiny piece of white on the nose, so it looks like a bit of light reflecting on the nose. And then we're just going to stick the head onto the body. So push that in place. Just make sure it's balanced properly. So it should look a bit like that. And you want to really give it a bit of setting time. If it feels reasonably firm, you can just add your ears straight away. So I've rolled a bit of an oval, we've cut it in half, and I'm just going to stretch that out to make some ear shapes. Fold them slightly, and I'm just going to put some pink edible dust on the inside of each ear. Get a bit of water on the bottom, and we're just going to push that onto the head. Be careful that you don't knock the head about too much when you're pushing these ears on. So I've given mine really quite big bat ears, but you can go much smaller if you prefer. So there he is, all finished. You can keep him as a little standalone piece, or you can pop him on top of a cake. And I've added an extra little tentacle coming over his head. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you'd like to see more of my Halloween videos, please go to my Halloween playlist. You can find a link in the description box below. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and leave me a comment below. You can see more of my tutorials by clicking on the images on screen now. If you haven't already, make sure you click the subscribe button to stay up to date with my future tutorials. There are also links in the description box below where you can find me on Facebook, Instagram and more.